My name is Deborah Beckett. I'm the design director for Gensler, Chicago's brand design group. Well, what brand design is it's really storytelling in space. We go in and we talk to the client. We ask them what's their story. We first glean their story, and we call that the discover process. Daphne's working on a project. Actually, Daphne was in the paper this morning.
So it's the environmental branding of 5 buildings, their campus. So we're renovating 3 buildings and building 2 new ones. So we're working on putting together the drawings for kind of a final design approval meeting. Simple things like what's shown here, which is just text on walls that will have kind of a mission statement or different statements the company wants to make to its employees. But we're also doing some more involved things that include programming to large television screens and putting up what we're calling front porches. So in front of every department there'll be photographs of all the employees as a way of people getting to know each other and kind of connecting with the company. So it's a number of different pieces that hopefully all link together to make a cohesive story.
So this is kind of something we put together for a project. We were making a pitch to a client, and this was sort of talking to them about what we call storytelling, and our 3 areas is storytelling, orientation, and identity. And so this was all about storytelling. And so we sort of explain what it is. This is our process: define, design, deliver. And this particular project was for Wilson Sporting Goods, and this was like a sort of kinetic piece that is an identity for when you first walk into the space. And they were really interested in movement and action because it's all, it's athletes. It's about the connection with the athlete. The other thing that was interesting about Wilson was that there were these walls, various walls in the project that were made that were clad in what was on the floor of the factory. So when they make the footballs, there's, they cut out the shape and then they sew them together, but there's all this stuff on the floor. And so these patterns were made out of that. So that was something interesting. And then part of it was displaying this is kind of a showroom for their products, and it was displaying their products in interesting ways. This was for an advertising agency, and it's called BBH, and they consider themselves the black sheep, and they revel in that. They don't do things the same way other people do, and so this was just taking that black sheep idea and using it in various ways in the workspace. This was for Absolute. This project was about using their art that they have used over the years. It was incorporating that in they use this art in their advertising, and then it was just using the actual pieces in the environment, and then using the materials like the glass and so forth that represent what their product is. This is an HBO shop in New York. The interesting thing about this is just using light, it transformed the whole space from, I don't have the photo, but when this plasma screen would be showing Sopranos, the whole space would be red, and it was like a completely different place. Toys R Us in New York. This was interesting. The facade of the building, these are just like window shades that are on a continuous roll, and they're done in such a way that it makes like 8 different images, and it changes before your eyes, and it's kind of a low-tech way of doing something that would normally be high-tech. I like the sort of cultural connections that it brings. I'm really interested in art, in fine arts, and just all kinds of design. And this particular, working in an architecture firm really is broad and really allows for a lot of different ways of thinking about things, and I like that part of it. And then the collaborative part of it is really high on my list. I like working with other designers. I think that the best work comes out of 2 minds or 3 minds or 50 minds thinking about the same